A 500 horse engine, that's a powerful engine for a dinghy that size. Man.
500 horse?
Is that what you said?
No.
I know it's time you get carried away with power. So.
I don't get carried away with. Despite the guy selling it to me saying it's a long leg, it's 100% not a long leg.
So fucking sick.
Back in the shop, my first review of that boat, it takes a bit to get used to. The V-hull is really great at breaking waves, much better than my old flat bottom was. It also gets the boat up on plane with more weight in it than I could have done with the flat hull. I find that it's really growing on me. The keel took a little bit to get used to, and especially when the boat is totally empty and I'm full tilt, it can be very sketchy. So don't go full tilt when it's totally empty. That being said, I think 20 horse is maybe enough. I'm still not 100% convinced on that. And honestly, I'm just going to let Facebook Marketplace make my decision for me. What I do know is I want fuel injection. I've already had to clean that carburetor 3 times. We're just going to go fuel injection and hopefully in the future go electric. This episode is brought to you by Timeusb batteries. They sent me a lithium battery pack for this boat 2 years ago. This boat has no charging system. It has no monitoring system. This boat basically has no deck. It's been leaking water in here like crazy. And this mighty battery has been charged one time and it's been pumping my boat out ever since. I just checked the voltage on it. It's still doing fine. It's got incredible capacity. But yeah, a year of abuse and neglect, and she's still holding strong, doing great. She's even running this fridge off and on. We don't power it all the time, but in the summertime, we were keeping it running, keep it beer cold so we could do more work. Yeah, very happy with the performance of this battery, and I'm very impressed by how it's been able to stand up to my abuse. God knows I like to abuse my batteries. So if you're looking for an affordable battery that can stand up to it, go check out Timeusb. You can handle building a boat, stomping on it, work boots, bad wiring, does it all. All right. Thanks so much for Timeusb for sponsoring this episode. Let's get back to it. Episode 2 of the Dinghy Boogaloo. So we're gonna go and get a fuel injected 20 horse, and we're gonna try and look at a 25 horse. And I'm also messaging a guy about a 30 horse.
I don't know how overpowered you want to be. Have you tried a 30 horse on that thing
No,
to find out whether it's going to be like really overdone?
I don't know. But the newer 30 horses are lighter, so we're able to actually handle the weight nicely.
Okay. Well, that would be.
And honestly, that boat handled the weight of the heavy Honda 20 horse really well, and this 20 we're going to go look at is significantly lighter than that.
Okay, so that's not going to be a problem.
So it's not so much the weight.
How about fuel consumption with the 30?
So the 25 and the 30 are both 550cc engines, so their fuel consumption will be higher. The 20 horse is a 350cc engine with 2 pistons instead of 3, so it burns less gas, considerably less gas. But all of them I'm looking at are, remind you, fuel injected, so the 20 will definitely be better than the current 20 we have.
God, those are 500 horse engine. That's a powerful engine for a dinghy that size. Man.
500 horse?
Is that what you said?
No.
500 cc. Sorry.
550cc.
Yeah, I mean that's a powerful engine.
We should also probably look at some 500 horse engines.
No, I know. Sorry.
I think it's a great idea.
Still, a 500 cc engine is a pretty powerful engine.
Yeah, it's a 3-cylinder inline 3.
I mean, you know,
a fuel injected engine. And the other thing too is that the 20 horses will have one carburetor or one fuel injected like throttle body assembly, and the 25 and the 30 will have 3. So that all like speeds up the fuel delivery. It's more precise.
Yeah, but it complicates the engine.
It does complicate things, yes. And also if one of them goes bad, you know, there's more to replace if the injectors go bad, right? Yeah. So it's all to be considered. But no simplicity. A lot of people will talk about simplicity, but like I am just sick and tired of carburetors. So that's what we're going for. We're going into Nanaimo now. We're looking at fuel injected outboards.
Yeah, but the smaller fuel injected outboard power. How much power do you? I know it's time you get carried away with power. So.
I don't get carried away. Okay, well I do have a sport bike.
That bicycle that you had with the 1100cc on it. And that time nobody could see you going by.
All right, fair enough. The keel on that boat means that overpowered. That boat is very twitchy and it is a little sketchy. But when the power is right for what we have, then it rides very smooth and nice. It's quite like locked in. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so I didn't go to a dealership. I went to the one and only person who actually replied to me on Facebook Marketplace, and we bought a 2021 Mercury 20 horse 4-stroke. It's got fuel injection, it's got no electric start, no electric tilt, no electric anything basically, but it'll run on its own. It doesn't need a battery, so that leaves our bilge pump situation a little bit more open-ended. We don't know what we're going to do with that, but
Well, we'll see pretty soon. Looks pretty streamlined. I think it'll be interesting to see what it does power-wise. I'm curious about the power.
yeah, I feel like the EFI is going to make it pick up and go a little bit quicker
Yeah.
off the gate, and then that means that we should be able to plane a little bit easier. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Anyway, we're going to get back to the marina and we're going to put that thing on and see how it compares to the old Honda 20 horse. Surreal. There's the whales. There they go. Well, no bites today either. But I do like the aluminum finish. Not worried about hooks anymore, that's nice. But this damn thing is just flooding the cockpit. Like, 3 inches too long, I guess. And that sucks because it's supposed to be 20 inches long. It's actually 23. Yay! Alright, so we did a test run with the new Outboard, and I got some notes. Outboard is quite light. It's so much lighter than the Honda. Getting it on and off is going to be a lot easier. It is definitely not a long leg. So despite the model number saying it's a long leg, despite the guy selling it to me saying it's a long leg, it's 100% not a long leg. It is an extra long leg or half of an extra long leg. It is pouring water over the transom and flooding the boat within seconds of full throttle. It picks up and goes really good, but it completely floods my boat, so it's useless right now. I gotta sell it. Also, it starts like absolute garbage. You gotta yank the ever-living shit out of it for 3 pulls before it starts every time. That might just be a leaky fuel line, although they're all brand new fuel lines that came straight from Mercury, so I don't know what that would be about. But seeing the piss poor quality of even their ability to use a fucking measuring tape, I don't trust that they know how to like clamp a fuel line either. Otherwise, yeah, the 20 horsepower EFI has got a lot of pick up and go, and the Outboard itself is quite light. So if only it fit, I would be willing to forgive the bad fuel line and just fix that, and then, whatever. But $2,800 and it's garbage. Okay, got a measuring tape, and there's some other Outboards that we need to measure. First, we're going to look at a long leg from Honda. So check it out. We have 2 plates, one here and one here. I think what Mercury's doing is measuring from this plate to the top. See, that's only 14 inches. But Honda, we measure from this plate down here to the top, and it's 19 inches. And this was the Outboard I used when we started this process, and it fit well at 19 inches. Let's measure this one. So 15 inches, the one that came with the boat. Again, 19 inches to the cavitation plate. Okay, great. Long leg, 19 inches. Long leg, 19 inches. The long leg is supposed to be 20, whatever. Let's go measure a Mercury. All right, here we go. Here's a Mercury from the 80s. What is that? It's like 23 inches. Why? So what they've done is instead of measuring the plate that matters, they measure this one. That's Mercury's thing. Just so happens that another local around here just bought a 20 horse short shaft, the exact same one I have except for a short shaft instead of long shaft. So let's go measure that. I'm getting like irrationally upset about this. It's like a conspiracy theory, and this is going to become like the hill upon which I die. Gearbox mounting plate, it's 15 inches. But from the actual cavitation plate, 18. Just about 18. Is this gonna work? 1 inch short of the Honda. The Honda worked. All right, just for giggles, here's another Mercury. This one is a 25 two-stroke, 18 inches on the dot, once again. So that's technically Mercury's version of a short shaft, 18 inches. If you look it up online, it says that it's short shaft 15 inches, long shaft 20 inches, extra long shaft 25 inches. So far I haven't found a single 15, 20, or 25 inch outboard. Apparently none of the manufacturers are sticking to those numbers, and you better just go to the dealership with a measuring tape. So my transom is 19 inches. So either you want a Honda long shaft or a Mercury short shaft. It's ridiculous. Hey, well, good morning. Yeah, I'll take those. Found a guy. Guy's got a short shaft, I've got a long shaft. He wants a long shaft, I want a short shaft. They're the same outboard. 20 horse Mercury, 2020, mine's 2021, whatever. Still, same outboard, and we're gonna go into the Nanaimo and swap them. And it's really early, by the way. Of course it's really early. All right, another Facebook Marketplace encounter. God, let's hope it goes well. So I asked the mechanics around me about this outboard situation, about Mercury and their weird measurements, and they didn't know what I was talking about. They were like, oh, okay, I don't know, whatever. They didn't say anything, and I feel like as soon as I post this video, the comment section will be filled with like, oh yeah, don't you know, you're an idiot, Mercuries are always like that, blah, blah, blah. This is how it always goes down on my channel. I'm learning this as I go, okay? And I'm trying to be honest with y'all about, I'm just, you know, why? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, whatever. Drop the feather for us. Look at that. You gonna try and go get that feather? Maybe it's an old trick. Maybe they learned this a long time ago.
Drop a feather,
Drop a
and
feather
get
and
people
we'll leave it
distracted.
and then we'll go to the fish. Watch this. Here he comes.
That's straight off an eagle too.
Super cool, man.
So it's good.
I don't know how I feel about you tucking a feather in your, your ponytail. I don't know. Did you get up again? Oh, unbelievable.
I've gotten it caught on itself the second time.
Oh, hell yeah, look at you. Mean bugger. Stinky
slinky boy.
Hey, I should take this and power my boat off this electric motor. What do you think? And so this is a gearbox. I have an old Ford, and we used this 3-phase electric motor to run that winch to yank 100 tons worth of boat up those rails. Of course, by the time I was working there, we were never hauling anything that big, but apparently that's what it was set up for. There was an actual, I think, a diesel engine at first, and it went electric eventually. And by the time I showed up, it was ancient. Kind of like it is now. We had issues with these bars, and we had to put new weld on this more than once because it would wear through. This is what we use for the haulback cable, because the rails would stick. So it had all these winches, or all these blocks, and here's a haulback cable block down here. What do you think, honey? That thing caused us a lot of problems. Everyone else is who's working down here all pretty emotional about seeing this go, but for me personally, this thing hurt me more than once. So, you know, I'm kind of excited for a normal boat ramp, to be honest. I think it's could be very promising. Of course, they're making it exactly like 2 feet too narrow for my boat to fit on there, but we won't go there. I'm just trying to finish off the last of this arch and get it on there. I want it to be pretty strong because I do want to tow things off of this eventually. You know, not anything crazy, but just, you know, I do tow the odd dinghy and other little sailboat around from time to time. So it's got to be fairly strong. And in order to be fairly strong, I can't have contaminated welds. And I'm getting a lot of contaminated welds. Like, I cannot do a single weld anymore. I'm doing everything I was doing before, but something is contaminating everything. Trying to figure out for the longest time what's going on, and I think I figured it out. Each one of these is a sealed vessel. And so as I was finishing off the last of the weld, I'm heating up the air that's inside the tube, and it's forcing past the liquid aluminum and causing my welds to A, get contaminated, and B, blow out. So I'm drilling little vent holes in every single one of these tubes and in the main tubes for the plates, and hopefully that solves my problem. All right, we tried the vent holes, didn't work. Still getting loads of contamination. I've ground that out and cleaned it like, I don't know how many times. Just, I'm gonna assume something's wrong with this aluminum. It is kind of too thin, as you can see. I'm getting blow through anyway, so I'm gonna lob off 1 inch on all of these. And we're gonna put some new plate from a different source on there. And maybe the alloy is a better alloy for it. I don't know. All right, well, didn't go so well. First weld, second weld, full of contamination. But check this out. Supposedly, I've still got quite a bit, 500 PSI of gas in there, but watch this. 10. Put it up all the way to the top. Still 10. So I guess when it gets down to this level, 500, I can't get more than 10 CFM or whatever that, SCFH, whatever. I'm gonna run over to Nanaimo and grab another bottle of argon gas and then give it another shot, and hopefully that solves my problems. Because it'd be weird if it was just the metal, because I've also got issues with some of the other welds that don't have the same metal. So I'm thinking this is it. I hope this is it. Well, yeah, I definitely ran out of argon gas. That was what was going on. Unplugged the argon gas meter from the bottle, and it was still reading 500 PSI. So yeah, the meter's off, and I went and got another bottle. Welds are going good. Is the construction going good?
It's going good.
Thumbs up. Great. It's good. Everything's good. We're gonna go install this thing, and hopefully it's working. I'm telling you, I'm not barbecuing anything. I don't know what you're smelling. Something stuck in that flavor saver. Right on. Well, you can pick the whole boat up from this. So it's definitely strong enough. It's got a little bit of flex, not the end of the world. We'll have to do a test on how she tows. I'll do some testing, just like tying off the front or the back beam and see which one it tows from better. I know the theory says that it should be this one, but you know, I'd rather test it since I can before I go and weld it and then have to grind it out. We did splurge on a Striker 4 Garmin fish finder. I could justify it 6 different types of ways, but I just want to catch some fish, so I bought it. We'll have to get the solar on here soon and a little battery if we're going to run it though, so might as well go do that next. Go find me my battery I'm going to need and a bilge pump. Gotta put a bilge pump in there too, because I don't want to do all that work and then have the damn thing sink. All right, fabric order is in. Look at all of this stuff. All client colors, but this guy. It's heavy. It smells different. The backside is like super smooth, and the front side has a diamond pattern, kind of like the PVC, but it's much finer. So, anyway, plenty thick. Okay, bench, fender, really depends on your perspective, I suppose. So we're gonna go just dry fit this and see if it's any good. Also, the bottom's still open because I'm not done with it yet. Okay, let's test this thing out. Previous one was 8 inches long and it kind of just barely touched the water. So this one is only 6 inches long, but it is 8 feet long. So it should do the entire length of the horizontal bit there. Let's try it out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I really like the way that looks. Still gonna have to figure out something else for the front, but I might leave that to another episode because I'd like to just get the last few things in this thing sorted, my tow hook set up, and then get out to trying it out. Okay, this boat is almost finished, but it needs one more thing, and that is a bilge pump. In order to have a bilge pump, I need to have a battery. In order to have a battery, I need to have a solar system to keep it charged up, because I am not doing that by myself. Now, you remember Jackery sent out some solar panels along with a battery bank a long time ago? Well, Barry used it, so it's broken now. But the panels, still good. And still some of the best panels that I've laid my little dirty, grubby little fingers on recently, with nice rubber feet on it and one support arm. You'll see I've put 2 support arms on this one. This is a bifacial panel. I think this is equivalent to 80 watts in a 50 watt footprint. So we're gonna jam this onto the top of the arch, and I just have to figure out the hardest part of every solar install: how. Okay, I am satisfied. Not done, but satisfied with where the dinghy is now. Okay, well, we made a lot of progress. We have a nice 20 horsepower motor. We got a bilge pump in the bilge, all wired in with fuses. We've got a solar panel all wired in with fuses. We've got a depth sounder and chart plotter over here. It's all wired in, although the sounder's in my shop. I gotta go grab that. We got a fuel tank up front. We got fenders on the sides. Check out my rickety battery situation. It's a Victron solar charge controller, 10 amp, well, just taped to a motorcycle battery. It's fine. Everything's fine. We'll fix that eventually. We have an anchor at the bow. We got lines all the way around. And yeah, we got a little dog and we're gonna go for a rip. So there'll be a part 3. I've got more to weld on this thing and more to install, but very happy with the progress so far. What about you, honey? You happy? Do you want to go for a ride? Come on. Probably get some grip tape on here for honey. It's a little slippery.
New beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good karma is a must. Still my shooter in the cut. I was stuck inside a rut. Played the game, made bank, move G. Anything to get a buck. You won't find me in the club. I'm in the lab trying to sharpen up the sword. Swinging blades at these scrubs. Flock like bugs to the light. Getting right. Treat my hoes like these raps. I don't really got a type. Off top bullshit. All I needed was a mic. Yeah. Hey, pass the rock, it's all butter. Pack your bags and take flight. Don't worry, it's all covered. Hey, live your life while you can. Our days are all numbered. Rain could cause thunder, but the sun comes after, clearing up the disaster.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody day's a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Yeah.